Good morning. Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul. We are here today to say some nice things about ourselves. Today it looks like I got a pepper on my shoulder because that way she doesn't have to be back in the hole anymore. She's been upgraded to getting to sit on my shoulder.
I've been good. I don't have to go in the hole today.
Yay. But yeah, anyway, so she's out on my shoulder today. But anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. Good morning to everybody who has showed up. So let's see here. Good morning, Susan. Good morning to Frank. Oh, rave day. I know you're going to EDC or something, aren't you, Frank? So have a wonderful rave. I kind of missed raving with you guys before you left, but I totally understood that things got pretty busy. So I have no doubt you'll probably be hosting one. You'll probably be hosting one at your new place, which I sincerely hope is that you're settling in well over there. And we miss you and love you, and yeah, come back soon. Good morning, Tony. Coming in from Florida. We miss you and love you too. And let's see. Tony says, I cultivate inner peace with lots of loud ass music and some meds for my heads. I love it. The question, of course, today, if you can't see it, is how do you cultivate inner peace? Good morning, Lauren, coming in from Paradise, and Shauna as well. Lauren says, I cultivate inner peace through music, meditation, and dance. And good morning, Jan, also. Well, yeah, so I love this. Cultivating inner peace through music looks like it's a theme, and I can totally understand why. Or dance, moving your body. When I was when I lived in Costa Rica, one of my acquaintances down there was the poor girl was just absolutely depressed, and about the only thing that she could do to change her state at all would be to listen to loud music and to dance. And I asked her why one day. I said, "Why is it that loud music and dancing helps you out so much?" And she said, "Well, when I'm listening to loud music, I can't hear the voices inside of my head, which keep telling me all these awful things. And when I dance, then I have to be focused on my body and I focus on the dancing, and then once again the voices that are inside of my head don't aren't quite so loud anymore, and that helps me to be more at peace." And I remember just when I heard that, thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, those are actually really healthy coping mechanisms, singing and dancing. But boy, don't we all have that inner critic inside of our heads? I know at the time I had one of those inside of my head, and that person talked really really loud and never had anything good to say about me. Way that I cultivate inner peace is I really enjoy writing. So I'll actually do some writing in my journal when I feel like my brain is all bound up, or when I just can't get over something. I'll just pop it out my journal and I'll just start free writing, and never with a plan. Always just writing, just putting words down on the paper and seeing where the words go, and not really caring if the words make sense, if the sentences make sense, not caring if the writing is cohesive, not caring if I'm getting to any point that I think I should be getting to. And eventually, what I find is that I will begin writing, and as I continue to write, that whatever the real issue is will come out on the page, and then all of a sudden I'll be talking about something or writing about something that I did not expect to write about at all. And another way that I cultivate inner peace is when something comes by to take my peace away. Besides reaching for all these wonderful I am statements, one of the things that I'll do is I will, I will just consider all of the ways in which things have gone right in my life, all of the ways in which things have worked out in my world, all of the ways in which I had expected some kind of catastrophe in the past, but then life itself worked out okay. And as I consider that, as I consider all the ways that life has worked out when I didn't expect it to work out, I can't help but feel a sense of inner peace. And it really does require cultivation. It doesn't it's not something that just happens. It's something that we grow into. Let's see. So thank you guys so much for your answers. So now let's see what Pepper has done for us today. So we are going to pull a card off the top of the deck. I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the top of the card, And then we are going to respond out loud together. I am that affirmation. As we do that, we are building into ourselves, and we are changing up our own experiences. So let's have some fun. Pull a card off the top of the deck and say that today I am peaceful. I am peaceful. I cultivate serenity in my soul. So I am peaceful. I cultivate serenity in my soul. Are you peaceful? You are peaceful. You cultivate serenity in your soul. I am going to write that down in the comments. And I encourage you to do the same thing. So I am peaceful. I cultivate serenity in my soul. Indeed, I am peaceful. And I can understand why Pepper chose that as the question of the day. So I am peaceful. I do cultivate serenity in my soul. And, and I know that my friends do too, because most of my friends are pretty peaceful people. And while I used to be surrounded by people who would fly off the handle pretty regularly, or people who just couldn't get through a day without a freak out, at this point, I'm now surrounded by people who just live their whole lives in a state of serenity, and I love it. I think it's a definite improvement over the way that, or the folks who used to surround me back when I wasn't particularly peaceful. My mom always used to tell me that water seeks its own level. And so, as we are more peaceful, then other people who are more peaceful are going to enter into our worlds. Because right now, like at this point, if whenever I meet somebody who is not at peace, I will love that person, and I will want the best for that person, and I will help that person to the best of my ability when I'm in front of them. But I'm not going to intentionally hang out with that person. I don't intentionally seek out more time with that person, because my peace is way too valuable to have it be disturbed by somebody else's turmoil. And so it is, as we change up our own lives and change up our own experiences, as we cultivate that the attributes in our world, in our lives, that we would like to see more of, the the other people who also cultivate those attributes are going to be gravitated toward us, because they want to be near people who are like them, just like I want to be near people who are like me, and you like to be near people who are like you. And I love this imagery for peaceful. I know that Pepper has been going with like an autumn leaves theme for this week, but yeah, see, she's like the Pepper on my shoulder. Is she the angel or the devil? I don't know. A little bit of both, I guess. um, but
Depends on the day.
depends on the day, she says. But I remember as a kid there was a stream that ran by the house, and down the little park that was nearby to the house. And I remember that sometimes I would go down there in the autumn, and I would watch the things going down the stream, generally like the leaves and the sticks and stuff, all the things that were going downstream. And I would wonder when I was a kid, I would ask myself, I'd be like, I wonder where this stream goes. I wonder, I know it eventually ends up in the ocean, as all streams do. It probably eventually ends up into a river and eventually ends up into the ocean. I was like, but where did but where did these leaves come from? Where did this stick come from? And sometimes when I wasn't feeling good as a kid, I would just kind of relax into thinking about, like, where did they come from and where are they going, and thinking to myself, like, I wish that I could just be like a leaf floating down a stream. Well, nowadays I'm an adult, and I can live my life that way. I can live my life just kind of like floating serenely down the streams of life. That life itself is going to be consistently delivering a new experience for me, and that I can just and I can that I can be peacefully floating on top of this experience and looking at the scenery as it goes by, instead of being really concerned about what's happening in my direct world. And so I am peaceful, and I cultivate serenity in my soul, and I have that serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and as well as change the things that I cannot accept. And so as I go through my day, I am consistently looking for ways to be at peace. And whenever something comes to take my peace away, when something comes to disturb my peace, I am very quick to notice that, and say, okay, well, what is this thing that's disturbing my peace? Is it worth it for it to disturb my peace? Is it something that I can change? Is it something that I can do about? I can do something about? And if the answer is yes, then I change it. And if the answer is no, then I simply extricate myself from that situation, or from that from that relationship, or from whatever it is that is causing my peace to go away. So I am peaceful today, and you are peaceful as well, and we cultivate serenity in our soul. I so we just had a political election here quite recently, a couple days back, and that I see a lot of people who are not serene for one reason or another, do not have serenity right now, even though what's done is done, and we don't really have all that much ability to change it. And so I think to myself that when I think to myself that sometimes there are very big things that happen in the world that we can all get caught up into, especially if they affect a national consciousness, and how important it is to make sure that during times like this that I'm extra vigilant to keep myself in situations where I can be I can be serene. So I am peaceful today. You are peaceful as well, and no, it's not only that, but I also have a very big life event coming up. Tomorrow is my 42nd birthday. Yesterday, yesterday was the 1 year anniversary of my father's death. Tomorrow is my 42nd birthday, and so it will always be that the two dates will follow each other within 2 days for the whole rest of my life. And so yesterday I was very much in an introspective mode, and just kind of like thinking about thinking about all the good things that my dad imparted on me, all the wisdom that he imparted on me. And yesterday I certainly had plenty of opportunity to be in my emotions about what is a pretty big milestone in my world. It's like I was looking back at the way that I was raised, also looking forward to the way that I'm going to raise my daughter, and also looking forward to or looking back at my life as a child, and then facing the fact that I'm going to be 42 tomorrow on Saturday. And so, oh yeah, I heard that. um, yeah, she's making fun of me for being old. Oh well, I ain't that old.
You're not.
But I feel like I'm younger at heart every single day, and that's the important thing. My it is mandatory for us to accumulate years. It is not mandatory for us to grow up. So I am peaceful. There's a lot of things going on in my world, and instead of being scared about them or worried about them, I'm intentionally cultivating serenity. All right, so it being Friday, let's go over the cards for the week and see how we got over here. And once again, it's very clear to me, looking at an overview of these cards on my end, that Pepper was definitely going for like an autumn leaves theme. So let's take a look and see how we got over to that we are peaceful. Of course, we are peaceful, and we do cultivate that serenity in our soul. And one of the foremost ways that we can be peaceful is that we are calm, which is that we remain clear-headed through uncertainty. And so as we are clear-headed when things are uncertain, it helps us to experience that inner peace. The external peace is something that even if we don't have the internal peace, if we can cultivate that external peace, that calmness around us, then we can then it helps us to ultimately it helps us to ultimately bring it to the inside. Of course, one of the reasons that we are calm is that we are united, that there is more that unites us than divides us. And we set this card up as a response to the election, but in the end, it's also very pertinent to us as individuals. There's more that unites me inside of myself than that divides me. There are more places in which I am congruent than where I am incongruent. There are more spots in my mind where I can where my mind agrees with itself than cognitive dissonance. And the one of the ways that or one of the reasons that I can feel united, that I can feel like my internal narrative is cohesive, is that I am blessed, and that you are blessed as well. We are blessed people. The universal forces are working together for our benefit. And when we adopt this idea, it becomes so much easier for us to experience that calm and that understanding. And of course, everything started off with Monday, where we affirmed that we are appreciative, that our gratitude expands abundantly. And when we are grateful for what is around us, it helps us to recognize these universal forces that are working together in our benefit, which helps us to be united inside of ourselves, united in our thought processes, more congruent than incongruent, which permits us to have an extended level of calm, which allows us to remain clear-headed as we surf the waves of change that are all over our world, and ultimately gives us a sense of inner peace where we get to cultivate that serenity in our soul. And all of this happens and prepares us for the awesome Saturday card, which is that we are awesome. And so let us recognize our inherent value and worth. We recognize our inherent value and worth and one of the ways that we appreciate our inherent value and worth is by cultivating that sense of peace, that sense of serenity, so that as we go through life, we can go through life without giving ourselves any unnecessary pain or anxiety. This too shall pass, whatever it is. And when it does, something new will come up and be a part of our lived experience. And so the peace that we have, that we cultivate in our souls, is a gift we give ourselves. And so give yourself that gift of peace today by cultivating that serenity. Give yourself that gift of being congruent inside of yourself. Give yourself that gift of being able to be present in this moment and to love what is, and give yourself the gift of being able to actualize in a very powerful way without having to without having to be fighting against yourself internally. We are peaceful people. We cultivate serenity in our soul, and there's lots and lots of ways for us to do that. And we talked a lot about writing and singing and dancing. Every one of these things brings us back into the present moment. It's very difficult to be writing or singing or dancing without being in this present moment. And so I encourage you to just look around right now and look at the things in your life that are peaceful. Look at the things in your life that are quiet, and the things in your life that allow you to cultivate that serenity. And as you do, then that serenity will expand. That peace will expand. That peace will begin to surpass understanding, even. And as we experience that peace that surpasses understanding, it helps us to face what is coming with confidence. Because if there's one thing that I can say for sure, it's that nobody really knows what tomorrow will bring, and I have been surprised by tomorrow very very often. And so I found that the best way that I can approach that is simply to approach it with a sense of inner peace. All right, my beautiful friends, I will talk to you tomorrow at 11 a.m. We'll be here for an awesome Saturday service. Come get some ass with the awesome Saturday service.
Special edition.
Oh yeah, it's a special edition because it's my birthday. Pepper says that she's come up with some special graphics and stuff for it. So I'm very excited to see what she has come up with. It is always entertaining to see what Pepper does with the wake up call. But yeah, so she says that she's come up with some special stuff for the awesome Saturday service, and it's gonna be a fun awesome Saturday service. I'm gonna be talking about a hierarchy of priorities tomorrow. Like how do we cultivate this inner peace, and what is the hierarchy of priorities in life in order to live in an actualized way. So it's gonna be a really fun really spiritual service. And so I encourage you to come on by at 11 a.m. Hey, if you want to come by in person, we're going to be serving coffee and tea all day long. Drop in. I've got a haircut at noon, but other than that, I'm going to be hanging around the house all day on my birthday, and just saying hello to anybody who drops in to wish me a happy birthday. So come on by and come say hello. Come have a cup of coffee or tea, and yeah, come celebrate the birthday with me. And of course, I will be at the club I'll be at the club getting some birthday dances, on Saturday. And she'll be holding my chair, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, come on by, come have some fun, and yeah, come share my joy on my 42nd birthday. It is the answer to life, the universe, and everything, after all. All right, guys, I will talk to you tomorrow at 11 a.m. And then if you can't make it tomorrow at 11 a.m., I'll talk to you Monday at 9 a.m. and we will come up with some more of these. until then, I love you. I care about you. I think that you're amazing, and I am excited to see how the serenity in your soul manifests today. Until we meet again, once again, I love you and care about you, and we'll talk to you tomorrow at 11. Aloha from paradise.